Welcome to the podcast. We do recover with Jared Miller, your host.
And I'm Dr. Terry Sellers, your co-host.
This is a podcast about recovery from addiction.
We want to talk about what successful recovery can look like.
Brought to you by Steps Recovery Center and the St. George Hilton Garden Inn.
Okay. All right, we're ready to rock and roll. Episode 60 is underway. I'm your host, Jared Miller, an advanced substance use disorder counselor. Today, I have your co-host. I'll let him introduce himself.
Dr. Terry Sellers, that's me. I'm a physician, board certified in addiction medicine.
Absolutely, and we get to host this show that we call We Do Recover with Jared Miller. So today, I actually have a guest that is coming back on. We've been doing this long enough. We hit 60 episodes today, Sellers.
Ooh. This is our first repeat guest, though, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. This is our first.
So it's an honor. It's an honor for our guest.
Honored.
You should be honored.
I am.
We don't invite everybody back on. There's a few people we'll never have back on. If we do this podcast for 100 years, there's a few people we'll never ask back.
But
I'm just kidding.
Ian Rader is one that we.
Ian Rader.
Yeah. Ian's doing some super cool stuff, and when it comes to like recovery, of course, a big piece is a financial piece, right? Like when you first, get into recovery, you got amends you got to make. Most of the time, you have a terrible credit score. What was your credit score? You remember what your credit score was?
Oh,
Ian,
yeah. When I first got sober, you start looking into stuff like that, and I wanted to go get my first credit card, right? And I go up to look at my credit score, and it literally said not available.
That's low. That's low, by the way.
Literally N-A.
Yeah.
And I was like, what does that mean?
That means there's a negative sign in front of whatever number they're going to do.
And I was 25 years old when I got sober. I was 25 years old with not available credit. I was starting my life back over. And it's, for those of you who don't know me, again, my name's Ian Rader. I'm an addiction specialist and interventionist, as well as an entrepreneur and investor. I do a lot of different things in my life. And, that kind of... it's kind of what I wanted to come in here, especially to talk about, financing, especially in early sobriety, because.
So I'm going to pump the brakes on you. Let's get back to that. No, you're good. And that's great stuff. Let's do some check-ins though. It's been a long time since me and you have done an episode with a guest.
Sure.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Why is that? Wait, what?
There's a reason. I can't be down here every week.
Why not?
And so, because I have a life.
Because he's a board certified
and my
addiction medicine.
My life isn't in St. George; it's in Utah County mostly.
Oh wow!
So getting down here is a little bit of a deal for me, and so I'm only available every other weekend. The off weekends I work at another treatment center, so I'm not down here every weekend. So, we used to Skype people in, including me, when I wasn't here, and Skype was difficult a little bit because it's just not
the same.
It's not. I talk and there's a little delay, and then he doesn't know I'm talking yet, so he talks over me.
I told you.
What did he tell us?
That Skype's garbage.
He's just yelling at you for the sake of yelling at you.
I know. He just yells in the background. Something about corn. I don't remember what he said. I don't remember. I said corn, by the way, with a C, not P on the front of that word.
All right.
So anyway, we haven't been together in the studio with a guest. When we've had guests a lot, I'm not here. We've done a few episodes together where we don't have a guest. It's just Jared and I talking about a topic, and those episodes have gone well too. We got a good reception on that.
I love it, and that's going to kind of be this style of an episode. Like Ian's not here to really share his story. He's done that before. He did that last August, August of 2020. He came on, shared his story. So today we're going to talk about finances, and there's tons of new stuff. He's going to get into it. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Let's all just kind of check in.
Can we do? Let's go. So we always do this at the beginning. We have new and goods.
Go ahead,
Jared. It's new and good in your world. You never lead off with new and goods. You're always last.
Yeah.
So let's hit you. What's new and good in the world of Jared Miller?
Yeah. So
our host.
Yeah.
The podcast is named after him.
So I've decided that I'm going to run for president
of the United States of America.
In 2024. Right. So that's my new and good.
You and Donald Trump.
I can endorse.
Yep.
I'll endorse Jared.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you guys for endorsing me.
I can vote for Jared over Donald Trump. I can tell you that.
Well, it's So no, life's good. New and good. Let's see. So Manny's getting ready to do the play.
Okay.
You know, she's a
Mandy's going
jet.
to be in West Side Story.
Yeah.
Jared was amazed last week when he said something about West Side Story, and I asked if she was a jet or a shark, and he didn't know I would know what that meant.
What do you mean?
It's a little culture right there.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of culture, right? I'm actually just assuming Ian knows exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? I'm not
course,
that young.
right.
I had great parents.
Right.
They taught
That's
me.
something that a lot of people know.
So my new and good is going to be getting my wife back because she has to go
When
to
does the
like,
play start? Do you know?
it's coming up middle of December.
Oh,
1st
so
of
it's
January.
soon. I
Yeah.
figured it was 6 months away.
But they practice
Right.
for like 2 hours
Right.
every
Every
night
night.
of the week. And
Right.
so, you know, I can only cook myself dinner for so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my new and good is
I can buy you dinner once in a while.
Where's my dinner?
I can buy you dinner too.
Okay. That's all right.
So yeah, that's me. All right.
All right, you're gonna get your wife back.
Yes.
Great, Sean Donovan over in the corner. Anything new and good in your world?
It's new.
What's new?
My lot in Tokerville is for sale.
Ooh.
That's right.
Yeah, the whole dream house thing has
Yeah.
gone down the toilet.
Yeah, we've run this whole gamut of he was going to build his dream house, and
Yeah, no dream house.
apparently now
so-
his lot's for sale.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll get a few bucks and put that
You
in
probably
the
will
house.
get a few bucks though. Yeah,
I'll have enough for a hot tub.
that'll be nice. All right,
That's
well,
good.
We'll be over anytime after
Yeah.
you buy the hot
Yeah.
tub.
The next, as soon as you
Yeah,
sell,
yeah.
I fully expect to do a podcast episode in the hot tub.
We can do that.
Well, that's
Yeah,
we'll
well,
get
that'll be a thing.
electrocuted, won't we?
Right.
We're all gonna
We'll do
die.
I'll bring some carrots and celery. We'll make a stew.
Yes, yes,
I'm not hungry
and some
anymore.
corn. Bring some corn while you're at it. Ian Rader,
Yeah.
what's new and good in your world today?
Well, last time I was here, I don't think I was married.
He wasn't.
Oh,
I was
that's
not
gonna
married.
be- that's gonna be
I
no
am
good.
married now.
Let's talk about that. When did you get married?
Oh man, it was April. It was a long story. So we wanted to get married in November of 2020,
Okay,
and of course, you know,
we had this thing.
we had the thing,
We had a thing
and so we ended up pushing it back, and we got married April 29th
of this year.
of this year.
Okay, tell us your wife's name.
Victoria Rader.
That is like a regal name, isn't it?
Victoria.
Yeah, like,
She's
holy
the wind,
mackerel.
The wind beneath my wings.
Right.
She's
Good.
just she's
You guys
my
had
best friend.
fantastic pictures, by the way.
I know.
She killed it in that
Cool.
black dress, dude.
Oh, she had
That's
a black
cool.
wedding dress.
Yeah, she
And we took them at the Salt Flats. So
Yeah,
because the
now that you
the
mention
white
that, I remember
background.
those.
Yes,
it was
Yeah.
gorgeous.
so gorgeous.
That's cool.
I mean, Rain, Ian, you looked all right. You
I looked
you know,
all right because
you
of
looked
her.
okay.
I was standing next to her.
I think that's a good
So
point.
I was
That's a
like-
good point in all of our lives. As
Yeah.
long as we're standing next to our wives, we look okay.
We look great.
That guy standing next to his wife looks
She looked
amazing.
amazing.
But look at him over there. Holy crap, he's ugly.
I know.
Oh, man,
Bringing back the beardless, the homeless beard.
if I could look that
Homeless
good, I'd be all right, actually.
Uh,
All right, well, good. Married for, we're headed towards, it's about 6 months now.
Yeah.
About 6 months. That's nice.
Yeah, married,
Really
and
nice.
I'm working on a partly because I'm here. I started. I really got into digital asset trading, cryptocurrencies, and that's part of a project that.
Ooh, you're way cooler than me because I didn't even know what you meant when you said digital
Digital
asset
assets.
trading. That's
he's
cool.
going to say a lot of stuff that's
I'm
going
gonna
to
say
blow
a
my mind.
lot of stuff
That
that,
is
you guys
cool.
and feel free to stop me at any time because I the whole point, my goal is with the project that I'm working on, especially me in recovery. I had no idea how to manage my finance.
Right,
I had no idea what people were talking about when they say make my money work for me.
right.
And I thought I was going to be in this cycle of debt or the poorhouse for the rest of my life.
Okay.
Because
Pretty common, right?
Yeah,
a lot of
pretty
us a lot of us that have used substances in the past were high through that period where people sort of learn that stuff.
Well, even then, do you remember learning about taxes in high school?
Not even a little bit.
Do you remember learning about how to balance your checkbook or learn credit scores in high
I feel
school?
like I sort of knew how to balance a checkbook, but that's because I didn't come to drugs until late in my life either. That really is.
That's fair.
Yeah, I didn't do drugs in high school. Or,
Well, I did a lot
even
of drugs
college.
in high school, but for the little amount of time that I did show up, I don't remember anyone ever talking about, how to pay your taxes, what type of taxes you need to be paid or need to be looked at, what kind of tax credits you can earn from having insurance, or just the whole
sure,
gambit.
there's a lot of stuff.
There really does need to be like a life skills class around those topics for sure, because we learn all this kind of like math in trigonometry, or I don't even know what they do at the high school level. Let me act like I know what I'm talking about. I don't, but we learn a lot of different stuff that isn't necessarily applicable to life.
Yeah.
Pause. Episode 60 is brought to you by
Oh my God.
Steps Recovery Centers,
Oh my
where
gosh.
addiction ends and healing begins.
We were
If
having
you
such a good time.
or loved one need help, don't hesitate. Give them a call. The number is 801-800-8142. Okay, so back to the conversation.
I
You
love
like how-
I love it when we have
in
a
and out.
guest that makes us lose our minds
Yeah,
where we are. Like
yeah.
we have kind of a format that we follow, and we just got off base. That's all right.
But for sure,
We
it's
love
like
Steph.
he's saying, that's a good point, is there isn't a ton of applicable education in the school systems.
Well, not only in the school systems, but now think about how, all right, you're sober. We'll use me as an instance. I got sober at 25. I'm starting my life over at 25. One of the biggest reminders of shame and guilt was my previous peer group. They're 25. They, have good jobs, or they're married, or they have homes. They have all these things, and they are successful because they didn't take the giant hiatus from life that I did.
Right. Oftentimes we feel like the adult bus came and picked up everybody else and we got left
Yeah.
behind, for sure.
And then there's me at 25. Literally, I had nothing,
Yeah.
And so, like, the first credit card I ever got was a secured credit card that you have to pay, and the bank holds on to that money as leverage just in case you don't know how to use a credit card.
It's not quite a credit card almost.
It's a secured credit card. So it's like, if you screw up, we still have the $300 that you basically use as liquidity against it.
Right.
So if you screw up, not only do you owe us a fee, but we're going to keep the initial $300.
Right. Yep.
And that's partly what I'm working on is, one of the major reasons I love the cryptocurrency space is because the accessibility to, I'll answer that by asking you guys a question. Do you have a savings account?
I do have a savings account, yeah.
What's the APY on your savings account?
Pennies?
0.01% or 0.2% is the most I've seen in the average American savings account, right? Would you agree, Dr. Sellers?
Sure.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah, like
I
you're
don't
not making
actually
a
know
ton
what
of
mine
money
is,
off
but I
of-
know it's way less than 1%.
Yeah,
Right.
it's 0 point something.
Right.
Right?
So just to kind of catch everybody up, today we're talking about crypto, which is good because I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Like when Ian first hit me up about this and said, I'd love to come on. I'm like, bro, I love you, so I'll have you on. I have no freaking clue what it is. You might as well be talking Japanese to me.
yeah.
You
So
want me
we're
to
talking
talk
about the
Japanese to
world
you?
of cryptocurrency.
To
No.
me, crypto means, in my previous job,
Uh-oh.
there's a thing called crypto orchidism. I'll let you figure it out on your own.
I don't
I'm gonna
want-
Google that
I don't
later.
want to. I'm not
I'll
going to.
let-
I feel like it's going to ruin a lot of things for me.
Crypto means basically, it comes from a Greek term which means hidden.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
there you go. Cryptocurrency is
Hidden money.
hidden.
No, and I hate using that just because cryptocurrency gets a bad rap because
Yeah,
they're
no
like
question.
only drug dealers or people trying to money launder do that. And I counter that with what? You don't buy drugs with cash. You don't buy firearms with cash. You don't launder money with real cash. No,
Sure.
You do.
Anything worth of value can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only reason it gets a bad rap is because, government entities can't track it. And so, of course, Big Brother hates that. But moving
sure.
on, what I was talking about before was, the average savings account, 0 point something percent APY, right? Where the bank, you're basically loaning your money out to a bank so they can
Make 10% on it.
10, 20, 25% annually or whatever.
Right.
And they say, thank you so much for letting us borrow your money. Here's 0.
Small fraction of that
1%.
back.
And then if you go to a bank and you want to, oh man, can I borrow money? You're like, yeah, but you owe us 25%. Like, wait a minute, how come I didn't get 25% when I loaned you my money?
I've actually never even really thought of that.
Oh yeah,
That's wild.
The American banking,
I would say
not
most people
the
don't
global
picture that.
banking system is awful.
Right.
It's horrible, right? Did you
Yeah,
know?
because they take your money and make money off of it. But then if you want to borrow some money
Yeah.
to try to make money, they're going to want to make money off the money you're taking to make
It's
money
to
off
keep
of.
you in debt.
Yeah.
It's to keep you in debt. The average quote unquote savings account, they're like pools, staking, different terminologies, but we'll just call them crypto savings account. The smallest one I've found is 7% APY. 7%.
Hey, that beats eats the pants off of the regular savings account all
The
day.
biggest one that I've seen that I trust, because there's some out there that say we offer 1,000,000% APY. It doesn't mean I would actually trust it, but the ones that I've trust, 189% APY.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Can you imagine that?
No, but you can get rich on 189% APY.
Yeah, and not even get rich, just stability. Money does not buy happiness. I understand that, but money allows for more choices in life. And when I got sober, I did not have a lot of choices.
Sure.
And that's one of the kind of the projects that we're creating. The team and I, it's called the FAT ecosystem, right? It's a combination of easy access to DeFi. DeFi means decentralized currencies. So it's an easy combination of easy access to this decentralized currency, this decentralized savings accounts. Because in order to get to them now, it is a little difficult. Because there's a difference between CeFi and DeFi. CeFi is centralized, meaning you go on places like crypto.com, well-known cryptocurrency exchanges, and you buy Bitcoin or you buy this coin. Super easy, put your money in, buy it, right? But there's a whole other world out there called decentralized cryptocurrency exchanges, a DeFi, right? Where in order to get to these, you have to buy coin A, you have to put your money in, swap it for a coin A, and then swap it again for coin B. So if you don't know what you're doing, it's impossible.
Yeah, I'm a little lost already.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I
for
mean.
sure.
It's impossible to get to.
What would be the advantage of having it centralized or decentralized? Like, because at the end of the day, you're taking your dollars and you're turning it into cryptocurrency, right?
Yeah.
So what would be the advantage of one over the other?
The advantage is when you're on a centralized platform, it comes with a lot of fees.
What are some of the more common centralized ones?
The ones that I like, again, I'm going to mention crypto.com, which if you are not in the cryptocurrency world, right? Did you know that you guys know what the Staples Center is in Los Angeles?
Sure.
Yeah,
They just
absolutely.
renamed it, by the way.
They just renamed it to what?
Crypto.com Arena.
Yeah,
Get outta
buddy.
here.
Yeah,
Really?
but the crypto.com
See,
arena.
this is Ian's bringing us all into the future on this podcast.
Yeah, sure.
Big things are happening in this crypto world.
Sure.
Well, no, and I just love how it's becoming more mainstream because and the reason, going back to your point is, there's you keep it off of centralized exchanges because there's less fees, and there's a saying in the crypto world: "Not your keys, not your money." Meaning, if I have it on a centralized exchange, it's technically not my money. It's the exchange's money that they're allowing me to utilize, just like a bank.
Right.
The money that you have in your bank is not your money until the bank decides to give it to you. Like if a bank is closed and their ATM machine's broken and you can't find any other branch, that's not your money.
Yeah, you can't get your money.
Whereas on the decentralized side, there is a perfect example of a story. Someone moved $28 million on a Sunday afternoon with no restrictions. Guess how much he paid in fees? Hey, guess.
$100,000.
Yep, that's a great guess.
28 cents.
That's insane.
28 cents to move 28. I think it was less. I think it was like 20 cents to move $28 million. Now, if you look at places like
No. Western Union.
Western Union.
Yeah.
Right. They charge you so much money from point A to point B. And this is actually another perfect example because if you look at what's that country's name? They just adopted Bitcoin as the legal tender. El Salvador. El Salvador just adopted Bitcoin as legal tender. And what you see, especially in a lot of Latin American countries, the people who work in the United States and other countries, they send money back to their families in other countries. One of the easiest way they did that was through
Western Union.
Western Union, right?
Sure, yeah.
They were collecting so many fees by doing this. The second they switched over, El Salvador started using Bitcoin as legal tender. I don't remember the number, but Western Union lost so much money because they were able to do it for pennies.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the product that we're developing will allow easy access to all of this information, educational services, and not only that, we're also developing what's known as a decentralized social media platform, where today current content.
When you say we're developing, you mean you and the partners that you work with?
Yes, me and the
So are
partners
you
of the
a
FAT
co-owner
ecosystem.
of Fat Ecosystem?
I'm a core team member. It's hard to say co-owner
Okay.
because it's a community-owned project. Not one person owns it. It's truly the meaning of decentralized. You know, we all are owners in it.
Yeah, so it's basically like a little milieu or a little group.
Yeah, conclave.
Okay. That all you guys are kind of putting together.
Yeah. And the social media platform, if you look at Twitter or Twitch, all these things, right? Twitch is a perfect example. Content creators make videos and they stream their friends.
Yep.
And they get
People can get money sent to them for the content they create. We ought to do that. I don't know why we're not doing
Well,
that.
the reason you don't do it is because Twitch takes 30% of it. I think
30.
I think actually
30?
more. I think it's more actually. I don't remember, but it's a big number.
That's crazy.
And with ours, content creators keep 100% of their profits because we're not here to. We want people to be able to share content. We want to be able to promote people who are talented, who are actually talented, not just because they have 1 million followers for doing something dumb, right?
Yeah.
But there's so many potential quote unquote influencers or very talented people out there who are great singers or great artists or great something, but they don't get noticed because they're living in the shadow of these,
Mainstream media.
Exactly. And with us, you can create content and interact with our application and earn a passive income. Not only that, with our system, you'll be able to pay your bills with cryptocurrency.
How is that? How do I take cryptocurrency and be able to pay my bills if it's not yet a legal tender recognized system?
We can get into that, no problem.
Sweet.
So with our system,
Let's hold on for a second. You look like, are you?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Do you have any questions?
No. Do I look like a deer in the headlights?
Yeah.
I am.
I just wanted to check in with you, Sellers.
Yeah, for sure. I'm 62 years old.
Breathe.
I'm going to tell you that everyone that's my age doesn't trust cryptocurrency yet.
Yeah, understand it.
Because of sort of how non-mainstream it has been.
But everyone
Sure.
in your peer group didn't
anyone-
trust a lot of things
Well, sure.
that were new.
Sure. But everyone in everyone's peer group doesn't always trust things.
That's very
that
true.
are new, right? So let's not get on my people yet.
Well, and
But
to some degree, you understand a little bit. Like you told me about the AI forex,
Right.
right? So that's kind of like trading currencies.
Right.
They basically take and invest your money. So to some degree, a little bit you understand.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I'm not totally lost, but I'm somewhat lost.
And I talk
two, I have
really
no-
fast.
Yeah.
I,
That's all right.
I know I can talk really fast sometimes,
That's all
so I
right.
do apologize about that.
I'm listening. I'm learning. It's all right.
I love it.
No, and if you guys have any questions later, feel free to contact me. If there's anyone listening out here, you can go to fatecosystem.com to learn more about the project. You can get in contact with me. And as far as we want to make it easier, to sum everything up that I just talked about, we want to give people a way to earn a passive income. And then if they choose to put that passive income in their pocket to pay bills, they can, or they can compound it in our crypto savings account, quote unquote, to earn these 12% to 168% APYs. And then they don't even have to worry about transferring it to, how do I get it back into real legal, currency? With we call it an on and off ramp. You put your credit card in or something and you buy a cryptocurrency, right? So that's the on ramp. With our off ramp, it will do everything for you to where, think of it, you guys have certain bills on auto pay, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So you can, the way we're attempting to figure this out, we don't know if it will have an auto pay system, but just as an example.
I'm not going to lie. I don't pay bills. So, Mandy, I'm going to need you to listen to this.
Mandy.
She's my accountant.
Well, so is
accountant.
Fair enough,
So
right?
is my wife.
This will help a lot in the future, I promise. So what will happen is you set up it's called the note broker wallet, or so your power company will request X amount of dollars from you, right? And then you click on it, you click on the request, and then you can say, I want to pay this bill with this currency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the other ones that are out there, right? And what will happen is our off ramp will automatically convert that currency that you chose into cash, or fiat is what we call it. We'll just call it cash. And then it will deposit it in this note broker wallet where your power company will just take it. And that'll pay your bill. And
That's pretty sweet.
it does this automatically, so you don't have to worry about, well, how does this work? How do I do it? It does it automatically for you. And the best part is you could have paid that bill with the passive income that you were earning through our system.
Got you. So what is the
Hey,
name?
we're about out of
Oh,
time.
holy
that was
cow, that
quick.
flew past. All right.
Flew by.
So stick with us. We're going to come back to episode 60, part 2, right after this little 30-second sponsorship mention from Steps Recovery Centers.
You are listening to We Do Recover with Jared Miller and co-hosted by Dr. Terry Sellers. We'll be right back after this short break with more of We Do Recover with Jared Miller, sponsored by Steps Recovery Center and the Hilton Garden Inn.
I'm Desmond Lomax, one of the clinical executives here at Steps Recovery, and once you become in the Steps family, you're just a part of the Steps family. A lot of us have overcome substances, overcome addiction, and now we're able to help other people. Second of all, we're also going to help you in a way where you can afford to be helped. Third of all, we're going to give you the same quality that many organizations are charging 2 to 3 times, and it's more about you than it is about our organization.
We welcome you back to We Do Recover with Jared Miller, co-hosted by Dr. Terry Sellers.
Brought to you by Steps Recovery Center and the St. George Hilton Garden Inn.
And now with part 2 of our podcast, Jared Miller and Dr. Terry Sellers.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Thanks for listening to our sponsorship mention in the break. And also, part 2 is sponsored by the Hilton Garden Inn. I don't know if you've ever been there, but Hilton Garden Inn's the place to be.
I'm actually staying there right
Well,
now.
so am I. Well, I'm not there yet, but I'll drive over there after this. But Hilton Garden Inn has great amenities. They take really good care of us, our people. If you happen to be traveling through southern Utah, St. George particularly, give them a Google search. Just type in Hilton Garden Inn. Again, they have amazing amenities. The rooms are great, clean.
The service is great.
Always mention the pool because the pool's amazing.
We're going to have a party tonight in the pool.
We are?
What?
10 o'clock. If you want,
I forgot
come.
to bring
just
my
ask for Ian
swimsuit.
Rader or
I'm going
Dr.
to
Terry
bed.
Sellers.
I think they
was
close
going
at 10 o'clock.
Let's just throw a party. Why
They
not?
close at 10 o'clock.
I'm
Sorry.
going to get a
We're
call
at-
from Chris after this. He's going to be
tired.
upset.
Right, and we're also going to have a party in Sean's hot tub.
Yep. Parties are going
but
down.
that'll be next week. Hey, before we move on, we have one more sponsorship mention, but also before we move, I want to say really quickly, you can, well, you do your sponsorship mention because he's pulled up
So I'm not sure.
Recovery Strong.
Thank you, Doc. I'm not sure if these guys accept cryptocurrency yet, but we need to talk to the Shaws about this. So
We can definitely do that.
one of our sponsors is Recovery Strong. Recovery Strong is all about fighting addiction and strengthening recovery. If you go to their website, recoverystrong.com, type in We Do Recover 15, it saves you 15% off of the entire store, your entire checkout. They got some really cool hoodies on there. They got hats. I just talked to Jared. I think it was around his birthday last week. Dude just turned 40. They're going to start doing some female apparel. It's unisex though, but then you know what I mean.
Good, yeah.
You know, they're gonna do some stuff for just the ladies. So check them out, recoverystrong.com. Awesome.
Okay, so here's what I wanted to mention before we get back into content is we are open for Facebook comments. You can go to our Facebook page and make some live comments. Apparently there are
got 2 followers,
Apparently
guys.
everybody that's commenting today is related to you.
Yep.
So Judy Miller, who is the mother of the show, she's the show's mom. Like she actually gave birth to the show.
So on Facebook alone, we have over 2,500 followers.
Right.
But truly, I think we have 2.
Well, we have Judy Miller.
I think people just like to listen to it at their
No question.
leisure.
For sure.
No question.
You know,
And people don't like this. That's what we were talking about before the show. Is people don't always listen to this show live for sure. But Judy Miller says, "I'm watching." Hi, Judy. We need to give a shout out to Judy.
I love you, Mom.
Who is your mother? Who has put up with a lot from you, and she's a wonderful lady. And then the other lady on this planet who's put up with a lot from you says, Mandy Repko Miller says, "I'm on it." She said that as you were talking about. She needs to listen for the bill paying thing.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
Mandy.
That's when that comment came in.
Listen, guys, I grew up in West Point, Utah. I am a country boy. I really am. I'm a simple-minded guy. So she needs to be the one to learn this stuff because I'm like 1 + 1 is 4.
Some number greater than
I don't know.
one.
Yeah. Something.
I'm
yeah.
with you. I'm with
I
you.
don't know, man.
Except I took a bunch of math.
I don't know. I just work here.
Okay. Well, here we go. Let's go back into where we were.
So what is it,
Originally.
Sean? I want to bring Sean into this. Sean, do you know, you seem like a pretty smart guy. You run a radio show and do podcast stuff. Like, do you understand crypto?
I'm a bit of a genius, but thanks for asking.
You don't have to come on with the midnight sexy voice,
There,
dude.
by the
You
way,
don't have to do that every week.
emphasis-
We all know you have a great
If
radio
you're going
voice.
to get in the hot tub, then you have to listen to the hot tub voice.
Now I know why you did radio.
That's right.
That was
Yeah,
good.
no. Listen, I'd pay $1 million for that.
It's been more than a
That's
few
voice.
conversations. Hey,
Coming back on the smooth.
I'll meet you at
jazz.
Denny's
We got
after
night
the show
radio
tonight.
coming in.
Man,
That's one of his side
I'm getting
hustles, I think.
excited
Yeah.
over
So
here.
what do you know? What do you know about crypto?
What do you know?
I'm a day late and dollar short, basically.
And I'm a month late. And
I should have bought the
short.
pizza for like 12 Bitcoin or
Do
whatever
you guys
it was.
know what he's talking about?
No, no
That's the
clue.
greatest
Oh,
story.
this is the most painful story you will ever hear. Not the most, but
No,
it's up there. This dude back in 2009 or something, 2008,
Yeah.
even probably later, he paid 200 and something Bitcoin.
Was it that many?
It was a lot. I thought it was 1,000. I thought it was a good number. I don't remember. You might want to Google it or something, but it was a big number. And
For a pizza.
for a pizza, he exchanged, let's just call it 1,000 Bitcoin for a pizza.
Now, the current rate of Bitcoin right now is what, 65,000?
It's dropped a little bit, around 60,000.
60,000 per Bitcoin.
So how much does a Bitcoin cost?
$60,000
$60,000
per coin.
Whereas,
For one coin.
For one coin. Whereas 10 years ago,
It
he
was
spent
cents.
1,000 of them
For a pizza.
for a pizza.
For a piece of pizza.
So what
Hey
they're
man,
saying-
listen, when
So-
you get hungry, you might have to do some crazy stuff. You know what I mean?
1,000 times
If you-
67,000.
He would have been a billionaire with
Let's
a
just-
B,
Let's
not an
just
M.
go with 60,000 straight up. You add 3 zeros to that thing, and you're at $60 million.
I'm pretty sure I did the math when they did it. He would have been a billionaire. So I think my number is wrong, but I remember
So,
watching the
yeah,
story.
right,
He would have been a
right.
billionaire.
Right.
But how many? I mean, but right now I'm seeing so many different
it's a really good pizza, though, right?
cryptos coming out.
See, but that's the issue.
Was it Dogecoin?
Oh, don't even
and
I don't wanna hear about
You're watching.
Doge. I don't wanna-
I'm not sure, but
Doesn't matter.
there seems to be so many.
There's a bunch of
jumping
coins.
on the crypto bandwagon.
Oh, there's thousands made.
and then
every
there's the
day.
whole NFT thing, and
Yeah.
that's just blown. I have a hard time wrapping my head around that one.
Well,
so
I
yeah,
can explain that. Yeah.
Wait,
Well-
I'm mining a cryptocurrency that
You're
no
mining?
one's heard of.
Oh, let's hear it.
You're doing some mining these days,
Maybe
Doc?
no one.
Is
Maybe
it on-
when I say
are you mining it off your phone?
yes,
Okay.
it's called Pi. You ever heard of Pi?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think of Pi?
That's a painful look, guys.
I don't-
Such a disappointing
If you're,
response.
if you're listening to this on a podcast platform,
I
that's a
don't- you know what?
painful
No, no,
look
no,
by
you-
you.
I
you
don't
know
plan
what?
on
No,
ever
no.
getting anything
You know
out
what?
of it.
You know
Don't
what?
get me wrong.
I'm happy for you.
I don't plan
You're
on getting
taking the
anything out of it.
steps to
Bless your
learn
heart.
more,
Yeah, maybe.
and you're getting your toes wet.
you be
man.
you, man.
You be you. I'm not
That's
going to
what I'm
say
doing.
anything to deter you from
Is
doing
what it
what's
is.
making you happy.
I have to push a button once a day.
See, you know, there you go. Okay.
It's not hard.
He's
It's
doing
not-
more than you guys are.
That's
Yeah,
true.
true, yeah.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Oh shoot!
You know how much I own in Bitcoin?
Ruined them. The same amount I do.
$0.
Yep.
You
But
guys-
that's why we're having Ian come on, is so he can educate me and I can maybe buy into some of his frosting and fat cakes and the stuff he's got going on. It all sounds delicious. And I think that that's part of the attraction.
A little bit. And there's some other stories behind that. But, you know, and I'm not here just to talk about, oh, let's all get rich together, you know. But
Why not?
I mean, that's very plausible. What I am talking about is helping people become financially literate with tools that are easy. Once you learn them, they're easy to do. Because if you look at, you know, people, you know, the only one getting, if you look at the state of the dollar, inflation's going crazy. You know, the cost of living is rising and the value of the dollar is dipping. Like how that doesn't.
Yeah,
that
and
doesn't give me
I hope
confidence.
I hope you didn't hear me wrong. I'm not saying that I think that it's mumbo jumbo. I see
No,
that
yeah.
we're very much in the future moving towards a Bitcoin
It
style
already is.
economy.
And if you look at credit cards, you look at your debit card,
Right,
already
it's
is
all
digital.
electronic. Right, it's
all-
digital.
yeah.
And so I think it's great. I think when you said you want to come on, I'm like, fantastic. Number one, I don't know anything about it. Number two, I think that people need to learn it.
Except for us old-fashioned guys.
Hey,
You
man,
carry cash.
You
Sellers
do
is a
you.
cash
No,
guy.
I got silver.
Silver.
Yeah, that's my retirement is all in silver.
Really?
Okay. And if it works, it works.
It
But
ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
you know, the main reason, and also,
They'll use it to build a computer to trade Bitcoin.
Right.
Yeah.
So it'll be worth something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, also too, going back to the mental health side of these things, when we launched our social media platform, they did a study about, I hate even talking about it, but about Facebook, right? A majority of all female teen and tween suicides were due to cyberbullying on Facebook.
Oh, sure.
Absolutely.
I believe that.
It was disgusting.
I haven't seen the study, but I believe that.
Yeah, I read the study. I have horrible memory, so I don't remember the actual statistics of it. But
I mean, we even faced that today. When we talked about the stigma around addiction, sellers shared that some guy was making some ignorant comments. It seems like, and we were talking about this with Sean in the studio before this thing even started. The only time you hear from, most of the time when you hear from people, it's something negative. Somebody has something that they've been offended by, or something that they don't agree with. And of course, ego kicks in, and, they want to be right. And so they're going to lash out. And I did, however, feel bad after that episode was over, because I actually had a therapist, never met her, don't know her. She listens to the podcast in Texas. That sent me I show up to work one day and there's a FedEx box on my desk. She freaking sent me a whole, the STAIRS program, which is a therapeutic, you know what I mean? Criteria lessons, all that kind of stuff. So we do have some amazing people out there, and but oftentimes, and thank you to the person that sent it. I don't know if she wants me to say her name or not, but I appreciate it. We have some amazing people that listen, but oftentimes, most of the time, it's a negative thing. Yeah. So for sure, I could see how it could, lead to some negative.
And that's another reason why I love talking about what I do, because I was that stigma. My family gave up on me. Everybody gave up on me. I remember, I had no prospects. I had squandered everything, every opportunity that was ever given to me, right? And so people looked at me like, oh, would you just die already? Would you just die? At least then we could, at least then we could sleep at night.
Right, we don't have to worry about you anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
For those of you that don't know, Ian's addiction took him to being homeless in Skid Row, California.
So it was a block away from Skid Row.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, same.
I was not living in Tent City, but I was. It was a block. I was on 6th in Los Angeles, and Tent City is kind of on 7th or 9th.
Got you. Okay.
But. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm a person in long-term recovery. My sobriety date is August 20, 2015, and I'm a person in long-term recovery from crack, meth, and heroin. So fun.
It's crazy looking at you today.
I know.
Dude, because, I would have never imagined that. Does anybody else get that? When I go and I talk somewhere and introduce myself just the way Ian did, and then people come up to me and they're like, no.
There's no way.
No way.
There's no way.
Yeah, well.
And that's what I love, because I love talking about what I'm doing today, because I want other people in the recovery know that just because you got sober, it doesn't mean your life's over.
Right.
Because I know people who've got sober in their their late teens to their 50s and 60s and 70s.
Right.
And they're like, I have to start my life over at 70 years old. What's the point?
Yeah, it's heavy.
Why do I even try to get sober?
Right.
But it's no, man. When you get sober, regardless of your age, certain circumstances definitely help, but you can do whatever you want. I fell into this I fell into this project because I want to make something that helps other people.
Yeah, and the thing that I love about you, Ian, is you're not afraid to dive into this kind of stuff, man. You're not afraid to branch out. You're not afraid to try something new. I love it, dude, because I'm more of a play it safe kind of guy.
Oh, no.
I am. I'm a play it safe kind of guy, And
it's funny. I'm married now, so I have to, learn how to do that.
Oh, for sure.
But that's never been in my name. I'm not I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure that we don't become homeless.
Right.
But I want to strive. And behind that logic is, whenever I hate my birthday. I hate it.
Why?
Because it reminds me of all the time I wasted. It reminds me of all the
Talking about your sober birthday?
No, I love my sobriety birthday.
Okay.
I love my real birthday, my belly button birthday.
Huh.
It reminds me of every birthday that I spent on the streets that my mom cried over me.
Yeah.
My dad cried over me. My sister thought I was dead or whatever. And all the time I wasted, all the opportunities I squandered, right? Everything. And that's why, I love being a little, I don't like saying risky, but I like going big.
You like feeling alive, taking chances.
I like taking a little risk, man. Something that no one else wants to do nor try, because I love the innovation. I love working something out that could potentially help the planet, help other people.
Yeah.
You know?
I love it.
I love it.
So how do people get a hold of you, like if they want to reach out and get some more information or education around this?
That leads to my question, which I'd like to ask right now. I'm a dude who's just gotten sober. I'm a 31-year-old dude who just got sober. How can you help me? What do I need to do? Tell me, just walk me through that process.
So, I mean, honestly,
I have no prospects. I have very little money.
What I would say is get involved with a sober community. So, you got to learn to crawl before you can walk. And then you got to learn to walk before you can run. You got to learn to run before you can fly. You're not going to fix your life in one day. So stop trying.
So let me ask you a more specific question then.
Yeah.
I'm a 31-year-old dude in just barely sober, got a little bit of cash. How can you help me?
So I'm not a financial advisor, and I don't claim to be one, but I can teach you different ways to allow your money to start working for you.
How does that happen?
So, in general, like as the concept, or through our system?
Yeah, through your system. I'm asking you specifically, like, I'm hearing this podcast. Yeah. I'm intrigued. I want to take it a step or two further and kind of explore. What do I do?
So you can go, well, first you need to educate yourself on how decentralized and centralized cryptocurrencies work. When our platform launches in December, it's going to make things a lot easier.
What's the name of the platform?
The platform is going to be called Frosting Social.
Cool.
Frosting Social. And one of the
Do you have any shirts?
We do, actually.
I was just kidding. You're wearing one.
I'm wearing my Frosting Social shirt. Yeah. We got a lot of frosting swag if you go to our website. But if you want to do it earlier, just go to our website at fatecosystem.com. You can get in contact with me. You can contact any member of our team. But if you wait till December, essentially what it would look like is this. You connect your debit or credit card, and then you look through the litany of different tools that we have. Maybe you just want to buy one coin, and that's how you want to start this journey. Maybe you want to go to our pools or farms vault, and that's where you can stake your money and earn an APY. Click on that, deposit your money into it, boom.
Basically invest your money in cryptocurrency.
Yeah. So December, late December is when phase 1 of our MVP, our minimum viable product, is going to launch, right? And that's when you'll be able to use our system with ease, where you don't have to learn about swaps, and you don't have to. I mean, I would still educate yourself on it, but it's not one of those things where our system is going to help people learn about these things. That will be the future, and it will be.
So question, we're talking about money, we're talking about all this different stuff, and I like where Sellers is going. Mm-hmm. Do they need to have the awareness or the understanding that you don't put money in to just try to turn around, get rich overnight, and pull money back out, right? Like
you can, but
for all intents
I would
and purposes, it's like an investment style.
Exactly.
Like you should put it in and leave it, because the idea is over time it's going to grow,
compound and grow. Yeah.
So talk to me about how that happens. How does somebody gain value or a return that you're talking about?
Yeah.
If say I have $100, I have $100 I can play with,
and this is where this is where everyone needs to learn about compounding interest.
Okay.
$100. Let's round the APY to 100%. Which, within our vault, we have some that are 186%, 160%. But let's just round it to 100% APY. Let's just say that. You put $100 in. That first year, you've turned that 100 into 200. That second year, you've turned that 200 into 400. The year after that, you've turned that 400 to 800.
You're doubling it year over year.
Every year. That's the glory of compound interest. And so the idea is to leave it in there until retirement or an emergency. Just like your savings account. Do you put money into your savings account, and then once you get that 0.01% return that year,
you're at 100%.
Cash it out, baby.
Cash it out.
I made a penny.
1 penny.
Yeah, right. I gained 1 penny. I'm going to pull it out. Like,
get it out.
Get
it out.
It's security. You want to build wealth.
It's a savings account, essentially.
Exactly.
What you're telling us.
The goal is to not get rich. The goal is to gain wealth. There's a huge difference. Getting rich is, I have, all this debt and a Bugatti When I die, my family's not going to have any money. You know, wealth, especially if we're talking about generational wealth.
Right.
You know, that's where I live within my means. And I know if an emergency comes up, I can take care of it. If a family member becomes sick, I can take care of them. If, you know, an emergency bill comes, or if I want to take a vacation, money does not buy happiness, but it allows for more choices.
It allows for freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah, for freedom. So you touched on a concept that I want to talk about for a sec, just because it reminds me of a book. There's a book called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, and it's a phenomenal book. And it basically talks about consistency is key, right? That's the takeaway of the book. But to your point, let's say and maybe people have heard this, and that's okay if they have. If I told you I can either give you 1 penny today, and it doubles every single day for 30 days, or I'll give you $3 million today, and that $3 million, just you take it, it's yours, but you can't spend the money until the end of the 30 days.
Can I compound that $3 million?
No.
No, you
Okay.
get $3 million in 30 days.
Right. Do you know what that penny ends up being?
I don't remember the exact math on it, but
it's over $9 million. It's more than 3 times the amount of that $3 million.
Crap,
up
I'm going to
front.
spend the rest of the podcast doing that math now. I'm gone. You guys go ahead and carry the conversation.
So when I go and I talk at places, one of the talks that I do is called The Awakening, and that book is one of the core books I talk about. In my recovery, I read some books that really changed my life, and that book was one of them. It's talking about exactly the principle that you're talking about, that compound effect of, So, just wanted to give a little plug right there. Sean, you look like you were getting ready to spit something out.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, whenever he moves the mic, you know he's got something to say.
About 5 minutes ago.
Well, you said that money can't buy happiness. I'd rather cry in a Lamborghini than cry on a 10-speed. I'm just saying.
Would you though? I think it's more depressing crying.
No, because
in a Lambo.
Lamborghinis are too small. You're right.
Yeah,
they're meant for people that are like 5'7". I'm just taller than that.
No, you know, if you really look
so
at
back
that,
to your point, yes.
Yeah, if you really look at that, don't you think it's more depressing and shameful to cry in a Lamborghini the same way you would cry like alone in your room?
Well, it's more comfortable.
Is it?
To cry in a Porsche.
I think you could
a
go
Lambo,
faster.
you know what?
in
A Lambo can't hug you back.
Well, my 10-speed can't either.
Yeah, I think it could. It can.
His name is Rusty.
Oh man, and so we're launching our MVP this December, end of December, and we already have 5,000 seed investors. We're doing another round of seed investing for the whole ecosystem, as well as more products coming out, and we've gotten some amazing. Like, this thing could potentially really change the world. Especially, there's a couple other things I haven't mentioned yet, but they're kind of secret. So I can't mention it. So if you want to learn more.
Oh, come on, man. Let this be the first place it drops, Ian.
It's not. We've dropped it quietly to some potential, not influencers. Investors. Yeah. Okay. So they know about it, which is why they're so pumped to want to get in on this thing. But let's just say, all right, we got 3 minutes. I'll leave you something. In order to get access to the decentralized side, you can't go through iTunes or Google Play Store, right? Because one of the big things, we deal with a lot of gatekeepers in our world in general. To launch an application on iTunes, especially one that deals with money, iTunes takes 30% of all revenue going through iTunes. Same with Google Play Store. I don't know if it's a little bit different, but it's around there. Sure. So the cryptocurrency community has done is what's known as decentralized apps, DApps, right? So you have to download a decentralized wallet that you send money to, and then you connect this wallet, it's a wallet on your phone. You connect this wallet to these DApps, and that allows you to swap your currencies to other currencies, farms, and things like that.
Move your money around, basically.
Yeah. What if there was something out there where you didn't have to use these DApp browsers? What if there was something out there that you connected to your phone, your laptop, any smart device? You could just connect to it, and then it bypasses everything for you automatically. So it makes this experience a lot easier to everyone. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Well, maybe things would be a lot cheaper because you're taking out the 30% that somebody's going to take, you know what I mean?
And not only cheaper, but we're making it to where people can build more decentralized applications without having to worry about, I got to put this on iTunes Marketplace. I got to do that now. I got to give them 30%.
In a way,
we may be building. I'll say we may be.
Maybe.
I'm not going to say we are. I don't know.
So what would that do for the average individual? Like, just tell me.
You could build an app. You can build your own D applications and not feel like you're being gatekept by Google Play or Apple. And you can automatically have it open up to everyone to play, use, whatever fashion was created.
And then through the social media, the frosting, you would be able, therefore, then have people pay you to be able to.
And that's just one aspect of what this quote unquote maybe device that we're building.
That's pretty sweet.
And that's just one. I mean, as far as we talked about your friend, Recovery Strong, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Our application allows businesses to accept cryptocurrency for goods and services. Any business. It connects with either your online applications or your point of sale systems.
So you'd be able to basically pay people through crypto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it will either convert it to cash or they can just accept it to crypto.
Right, and keep it in crypto.
Yeah.
I just thought of like 20 minutes of questions. We got 20 seconds left.
You just thought of 20 minutes of questions?
Yeah, I did.
Do we need to have a part 3, Ian Rader? Is that what's happening?
Maybe. We got nothing right now.
Cool. Well, Ian, I appreciate you coming on. And
appreciate you
listen,
having me,
when
yeah.
that comes out, do you have something you can put in the comments? Do you have something where people can click on it and get to it?
Yeah. Just go to, fatecosystem.com, the website.
we'll put
That's
that-
where all the information is going to be.
Absolutely. We'll put
Fat
that in the
ecosystem or systems?
Fat Ecosystem.
Okay. .com.
Not plural.
Not
singular.
Gotcha.
Singular.
All right, so check it out. Next week is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We will be back the week after that.
Thank you for joining us today on We Do Recover with Jared Miller.
Help us spread our message of hope. Like, comment, and share.
If you have any topics or ideas for future shows, please share that on our Facebook page.
That Facebook page is We Do Recover with Jared Miller. If you or a loved one needs help, please reach out to us. Again, thank you for listening.
Brought to you by Steps Recovery Center and the St. George Hilton Garden Inn.
This has been a production from a podcast studio.